again, it's Chris Kahl from Pacific Companies. I thought I'd do something a little different. It's basically my story of the week. I was on the phone with a physician a couple weeks ago and thought this might be a good learning experience or opportunity for the physicians out there that are considering practice opportunities. We had originally spoken with a physician about a position we had in Southern California. It's a subspecialty of internal medicine, but it wasn't a fit for the candidate. It wasn't where he wanted to be, which was down in San Diego. So he considered a position down there, and we parted ways. About 2 months later, he gives me a call. This was about a week and a half ago. And he said, "Chris, I have a couple questions regarding that position. Can I run them by you?" I said, "Absolutely, Doc." So the first thing was, he said he had received a letter of intent. And a letter of intent, as some of you may know, is not legally binding, but it outlines the basic terms of the agreement that would be forthcoming as far as the official contract, which would be binding legally. And he says, in the LOI, it says a 50% productivity bonus, but they told me on the interview it would be 55% productivity bonus in year 1 and 60% productivity bonus in year 2. I said, well, whatever's in the written document, that's what they're going to go by. So I asked him, please follow up with that client to make sure that there's no misunderstanding, because with the 50% right now is what you're agreeing to, not what they told you. So once again, if things are verbally told to you, it needs to be put in writing, otherwise it won't be integrated into your contract. But as we started talking, he says, can I ask you another question? What about compensation? The compensation that he shared with me in his subspecialty of medicine wound up being about the 10th or 8th percentile of the MGMA as far as the offer, when the going rate should be in Southern California, San Diego, probably at least the 25th percentile across all subspecialties. And that's due to the area being very desirable and a lot of people just wanting to be there. And that's really all the group had to offer. He was a little bit taken back by that, but still interested. So we pursued some additional questions, and he asked me about, is this a good offer? And I said, it's not that competitive, but if you really want to be in San Diego, hey, that's all you're going to get. We asked about call schedule, and he wasn't sure about that, but the group he was with was covering 3 hospitals. So I suspected that he had a cover call at 3 hospitals, but he really didn't know, and it wasn't outlined in the LOI. Additionally, the group said that there was plenty of patients, which could be, but I asked him to please verify that by speaking with the group, say, hey, where are my subspecialty consults going to come from? As you all know, they typically come from your primary cares, family docs, internal medicine, pediatrics if you're a ped subspecialist. And so I said, where do they currently refer their subspecialty work? And it was to one of the 2 hospitals down there. So which primary care physicians are going to help you build your business? He didn't know the answer to that. So I encouraged him to find out additional clarity to that. We also asked a couple more questions regarding exactly what his income would be. The starting pay was, I believe, somewhere around $270,000. So I said, typically the production bonus will start at twice that, because your salary of $270, benefits, malpractice, overhead is usually 50%. So that would be $540. So your bonus doctor will start at $540. So anything above $540, according to that LOI, would be split at 50%. So if you collected $600,000, we back out the $540, remaining $60,000. You split that with the group, so you'd get a $30,000 production bonus in that year, up to $300,000. But that wasn't delineated in the LOI. So as you can see, just through this story with the physician, this was about a 25-minute conversation of back and forth. Initially, he was very excited about San Diego because his wife wanted to live in Escondido. That's where her family was. He really liked the area. He didn't have to drive too far. But as we explored, the ability for him to develop a business in his subspecialty of internal medicine was not really apparent, because San Diego had plenty of those physicians. So please make sure to evaluate the practice and verify. We have a saying, trust everything that they're telling you, but you need to re-verify it. Failure to verify something through a test, running pathology, x-ray, and so forth, those sometimes open the doors to malpractice. And we don't want your practice to be one where you fail to do your due diligence, and now you're in a bad situation and you have to leave. As always, if you have additional questions regarding these types of questions, practice and consultation, feel free to give any of us a call at Pacific Companies. Thank you.